Just clearing some stuff off my table. Getting ready. Good morning, everybody. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. Good morning, good morning. Episode 17 of Coffee and Lead. But it's going to be coffee and paint. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day so far. We'll find out after this cup of joe. I'll try not to swig and swallow on the on the mic. All right, move some stuff to the side. I'm not sure. You guys interested in seeing the? Of seeing the. I'll put this here. This is a paper palette. You guys interested in? Oh my lord! Here I go. The reference. Yeah, I'm gonna show it to you anyway. All right. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. What's today? Wednesday? It's hump day. Should be good today. My windows are behind me, so we're gonna get some cast light. I got my shades closed, my blinds closed, but it's going to be a beautiful day. Move my paints. Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful day. All right, you guys want to see the reference? That's not the reference. Oh, that is not the reference. That'd be hilarious, though. Where are you? That's the one. Nope. That's the one. That's funny. Okay. Okay. All right. So, as you can see, it's definitely a lot bigger. So I'm just going to scooch it over here off to the left. Vertical viewers of the stream will I'm gonna see if I can adjust it so you guys can see it also. Unless you know what, if you want to see the reference image, switch over to the switch over to the horizontal stream. Cool. Okay, let me just get some info and I can do that for you right here. This always ends up slowing me down. I should be doing a lot of this testing before I jump on. You know how it is, though, I guess. Open up another new link. I'm sorry, guys. Just give me a hot moment. But while I'm getting settled and you're getting settled, put on the say hello. Let me know how you're feeling. I know a few of you guys are already watching and hanging out, so I appreciate you. I'm going to type here for the full desk experience. Click the link below. And hopefully that brings you to the right place. All right, I'm just making sure everything looks good. I'm gonna make sure I don't move this one too much so that so it can be seen properly. All right, we Gucci. I think we're ready to play. I'm gonna leave that one open. Close that. I'm trying to close windows so that the quality remains excellent. I'm charging my pill. CJ Jeffrey. Good morning. Good morning from my end. I don't know if it's morning where you are, but thank you for joining me. You're right on time. I'm usually the guy that's whenever I think I have everything under control. Or ready to go. I do not. Here, you want to see, this is the reference image that I'm working on. It'll be kind of small on our screen, but oh, it's 9 a.m. Okay, so you're you're in the past. It's 10 a.m. where I am, so good morning. I have the reference up. It'll show up in a moment. Let's go. I'm using my Hemi gouache. I got some 80s synth music in the background so we can be in full mood. I'm not going to do too much blending. I'm not going to go too bananas on this one. I'm going to try to follow the color scheme as much as possible. Even though I do not like that red, I probably will be using Arteza. I'm going to be mixing them both. I probably won't be doing a lot of blending. I think the only way I'll be doing blending is with the outside edges. I think my camera just good. So background is going to be simple. I'm not going to copy the mountains or anything down here. I'm not going to copy any of the mountain stuff. I think it's just going to be a stark white, but that may change depending how I feel. So I got 2 hours to go do this. Once this is done, I will be on later on today in the afternoon around 3 p.m. 2 p.m. for you, sir. And I'm going to be, this is the first one I did here. Give you a little slow pan. I think people were a bit traumatized on on this shot here. If you're a fan of the show, fan of the movies, fan of the characters, you'll know where this is from. So, but yeah, that one's done. I'll be painting this later on today. I'm looking forward to that one. So, let's get to it. I'm wasting too much time already. Oh, don't say that. Where are you watching from? You're an hour. I guess you would be in some place in Middle America. All right. I'm going to use this paper palette. I might need a bigger reference image here. Sorry, I'm just moving stuff around. No matter how big the... Oh, Canada. Well, welcome from Canada, my friend. Man, we are so far apart from each other. I am in the southeastern part of the U.S. in Florida. It's one of the beauties of the interwebs and social media, man, and we can speak to each other and talk to each other from such amazing distances. I want to go... I'm going to be using a lot of these smaller brushes as much as possible. I don't know why I feel like I'm rushing. I shouldn't be. I'm going to finish what I can, and it is what it is. With gouache, with this medium, the worst thing to do is to rush. All right. So, let's work on that upper body, shall we? I'm going to use this red. I'm going to add a little bit of tiny bit of blue to it. I'm not going to be able to match the same type of shadow I don't know if I want to match the same type of shadow color. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to add a little bit of blue from my Hemi. Give them all the spritz, even though I use only a few of them. You're going to be, in the next couple of weeks, you're going to be where? You going to the U.S.? Awesome. Well, I hope you have a good time. I hope you enjoy yourself. I know we seem to be in a bit of friggin' turmoil. But I rest assured, not all of us are bananas. What's the expression they use in most of the X-Men comics, right? Whenever they're going to start something new, they say, welcome. And then they say, I hope you survive the experience, but I think you'll have a good time. All right, shall we go? Start that. That actually might be a bit too dark for my liking, but that's okay. North Dakota and Minnesota. Nice. That's pretty cool. Bucket list for me in the future is to be able to at least try to see a little bit more of this country. I've only been to most of the states up on the northeast side. I used to live in Massachusetts, so that's one. New York, obviously, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maryland, Pennsylvania. And I really don't count when I drove down from Massachusetts to Florida. I don't count that as visiting other states, but yes, all the eastern seaboard. And even while living where I am, I pretty much stay home on the northern side of Florida. I've been doing a lot of blending with my paintings because there's been mainly organic or humans or superheroes or something like that. I'll show you some of my recent paintings just so you can get an idea. So this swatch style of just a simple shade of color is going to be something really refreshing to do today. Good morning, Saboteur. Yes, a more heroic Boptimus Prime. CJ Jeffrey says, every single you come to the U.S. after your birthday. So, because you said it's in a couple of weeks, I'm assuming your birthday's in a couple of weeks. But yeah, man, good morning, Sabo. How you doing, brother? But yeah, I finally finished The working for the man. Salary dude, man. Salary man. I finally finished that painting of Optimus yesterday. I did it off screen. I didn't want to traumatize anybody else. But it came out pretty good. I finished it up with some black acrylic to make it pop. And I got family coming. What's today? Wednesday. Tomorrow? So I want to get a bunch of stuff done before they get here so I can give them my undivided. Even though they're not going to stay with us. But it's going to be awesome to see some family. And I got you. This thing is going to pop. I love these colors so far. Just that red. All right. Clean, clean, clean. Yeah, brother. There you go. Let me get rid of this image for a second. I keep forgetting how big it is until I try to put it close to my table. I mean, under the camera. I didn't put too much emphasis on the background. I figured I think we're good there. All the black, the deep acrylic I went on this on the metal. Some eyes, and then I used a silver metallic pen to enhance some areas, but not too much. A little tear, a little glint in the eye. Not too shabby. But it created a monster, man, because then I reused the grid system to do this piece. I like it. Of Optimus here. And I'm like, man, all of those other times I was having trouble trying to. It's a great way to practice and a great way to get better. Where's my brush at? Alright, this is gonna be tricky. I need a very light blue. Alright, CJ. CJ, I have two streams going. So if you hear me talking and it's not to you, it's because I'm on. If you click the link above on our chat here, you'll be able to see the table and my palette. Some dirty water. So what was I saying? So yeah, man. So I started really digging the grid system, and I want to use it on other things. I also wanted to challenge myself while using it, so I'm gonna do a draw along to do some portrait practice, portrait study with and without the grid. Yeah. Yes. Split personality disorder. All right, I like that shade. might have to go a little bit more blue. It's always the shadows that I can never end up having to blend a bit more. This is not necessarily. This came out brown. Alright, so because I'm looking at his shoulder. CJ, welcome to the big table. The shading on his arm is more of a purple color. Let me see what this looks like. That's a bit better, actually. That might actually work better. I might have to come back, or I can do this. I'm gonna get rid of this color as best as I can. Random Seal SS says, what am I painting? I am painting Optimus Prime from the... when did this movie come out? In 1986? From 1980... I think it was 1986. Alright, I'm gonna wait for that to dry. He is the leader... You don't know... I mean... Anyway. Yes. He is the leader of the Autobots. I think this shading is what's going to make or break this piece if I don't get it right. But we got to trust it. Random Seal, where are you watching from? If you don't mind me asking. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be doing a lot of blending because it's such a flat, almost flat. I'm going to have to, considering. Because I do not like the way the shadow is, so I'm going to have to add red on top to kind of match the main red. I was hoping I didn't have to go bananas with the layers, but it is what it is. You're watching from Alaska. Wow. That's pretty cool. And it's 6:24 there. Well, heck yeah. Good morning. Hot diggity. I do have an iPhone, sir. Random CEO, if you hear me speaking and answering questions on a different... it's because I have another stream going as well. If you are on a computer and you want to see the full desk, my full desk, you can click the link above. It is the second comment on our chat, and you jump over. Dang, I wasn't expecting it to be. Why not? From Alaska, from Canada. Yesterday I had the pleasure of meeting someone through the chat from Lithuania. You know, I mention this a lot about where I used to be, still kind of. I appreciate the sub, thank you. An introvert artist. It used to be more. It still kind of is more for me, for being in a comfort zone and safe place, that type of stuff. Not that I was ever in danger or anything like that. I just I grew up isolated. I grew up with two older sisters, so obviously I was super duper isolated. So art was always a place for me to be okay by myself. And it was a very weird switch, a very weird change of thinking and mind and just concept and everything. Jumping on this YouTube channel and creating this and doing this live, or doing just videos and talking about it and sharing it, because this is always so personal to me. So just want to thank all of you guys for that end up joining and subbing and talking and chilling with me. You guys don't know how important you guys are to me in the end. So thanks a lot. You see how weird that looks? Just because I did I'm unsure of the shading, so it looks very watery, because it is. But what I'm going to do later on as I go, I'm going to add a bit more depth and adding a little bit more color to those. I just want to keep it flat for now, so that we can move along. No, this is not watercolor. It's very similar. This is gouache, which is usually considered an opaque watercolor. Carrie Jeffrey, welcome. It's good to see you there. Carrie, I've been asking anyone that's been popping on where they watching from, if you don't mind. We're doing the United Colors of Benetton here. Awesome. From Manitoba, Canada. The Canadian contingency is here, and that's interesting because your name is Carrie Jeffrey. Well, that's not interesting. I didn't mean it like that. But there's another person in the chat called CJ Jeffrey, who's also from Canada. Welcome from Canada. I appreciate you being here. We hanging out, we're having a good time. That is fantastic. CJ, you say you're same. So are you from Manitoba as well? Are you on? Is this your burner account? Are you both CJ and Carrie? That's funny. So, watercolor. No, these aren't watercolors. What's cool about this is later on, if I wanted to add more dynamic shading, because this paint is water based and is basically alive, meaning it'll always be active on the page as long as there's moisture involved or water or dampness. Uh, I would have to seal this paint if I want to protect it, meaning I would have to add either a fixative or waxed, what I normally use. So in a day, in a few minutes, and when it's dry, a day, a year, 5 years, it doesn't matter. This paint, if I drop a bit of water on it, it'll reactivate. Unlike watercolor. Watercolor, once it dries and it's permanent. I'm gonna freehand his Autobot symbol later. Thank you, CJ. I usually devolve into like a show and tell, but I'm gonna try to stay on schedule today and finish this painting this morning. I'm probably gonna be on till about noon my time. I should be able to cover as much of this as possible. The color scheme is fairly simple. Once I'm done with the red, it's gonna be gray and blues and whites. Oh, I missed a divide here. This is actually proving to be personally a little bit more difficult than I expected, only because I'll hide my painting insecurities by overblending or just kind of like overdoing it. And this, because it's a very simple paint drawing, I'm trying to make it simple. It's forcing me to slow down and take it in and make more deliberate choices. Which is cool because it's really early. It's what, 10:30 here? And I don't want to be overthinking anything right now. I want to go with the flow. You hit 14 subs today. Congratulations. Random Seal Essa of Alaska. Right? Yes. Alaska's a beautiful place. I've never been. I've only seen through pictures, living vicariously through Bob Ross, who used to paint Alaska a lot. And I forget his name, but the dude from the Outdoor Boys that does survival videos. I believe he does them in Alaska. But brother, I cannot. The cold and I do not agree with each other. I have, if you go through some of my earlier live streams, I live in Florida and I'll have a skull cap on. Is he from Indy, Sabo? Because I know in the military, I think he was in. I can't remember if he grew up in Florida and then moved to Alaska. And then settled where he settled. That dude's the man, dude. You gonna stop by? Wait, where in Florida, Alaska, or Indiana? What are you talking about? Creeping up. You ex-military, I'm sure you'll find me. It's pretty here, but freezing. Oh yeah, dude. Alaska, huh? Want to die quick? I'm kidding. Yeah, I think I just went a bit inconsistent with the shading, but that's okay. That just means that it's gonna be more dynamic. You gonna stop by Bob Ross's house for me? I appreciate that, man. I have his book there. For when I switch over to oils, I tried to do a Bob Ross painting following instruction, but Bob Ross is not using the cheap oil paints that you buy at the store, and I'm not. Artist oils is too expensive, too pricey for me. But the techniques still stand. Which he learned from Bill Alexander. So Carrie, I knew it was a burner. I knew it. You're the Sure, please. You're the oh, what's the guy's name? You're the Kevin Durant of in YouTube with the burner accounts. I really am not digging this shadow for Optimus. Maybe I can salvage it later. Plus, I gotta. There's so much sun. Can you see? So it's messing with my color perception. It might look fine, but it looks brown and dirty, which is probably true. But I think that's okay. You have two devices. And you print another streamer? Gotcha. See, and see, Sabo, I thought I was the one that was losing my mind with split personality. Our homie CJ here. That's kind of the beauty of gouache also. I have to add when I do that. Wow. Look at my coconut. I'm going to have to use my head to shade to cover. You could just keep adding on top. It might get muddy, but if you're careful enough, it should be okay. I'm just going to keep going with this. It is finally spring. I probably should have used this. It's too much. In spring, do you guys even get to a double digit temperature? Above freezing? I'm cold just thinking about it. I tell a lot of young artists, not meaning young in age, but just young in experience, when painting or just that want to draw and want to learn and get better, you have to be okay with your piece looking ugly for a bit. I'm telling you. 80% of art is dealing with the awkward or the ugly phase. Never has trusting the process been more real. All right. See, I was too deep that color. It again, it could be because of the way the lighting is in my room. So I might have to introduce some oranges and some vermilion to make these pop out a bit more. But so far so good. Me gusta. And then I'm going to end up having to stick around with these colors because I'm going to be painting Spider-Man later on today. I'm going to be streaming live twice today. I am on a quest to gain an extra 2,000 watch hours. I should put a timer up. I should put a ticker. But yes, I'll be painting this Spider-Man sketch. Still artboard. little darks, but I'll be able to use these same colors later. It might be a bit darker than that, especially with the background. We'll do it. Alright, what's next? Light blues and whites. Some gray. Alright, let's see if we can get some shading here. Touch of black to dull it. A tad more blue. I've already contaminated almost my whole palette of colors, but I'm okay with that. I don't really care too much. Honestly, I don't know how that blue Prismacolor is affecting any of my paints as I lay them down. I think I'm fighting my screen. My screen's color is a bit warmer. No, I'm at cooler. I like that, but I like that color better. I'm not really trying to match it color for color. I don't have that talent. I just want it to be close enough and have try to get the gist of it. Oh, I guess we're getting a package. Let me mute my mic for a hot second. Nope. He just likes barking at things 100 feet away. One of my sons just challenged me to try to paint the Michael Bay version of Optimus Prime. And I should remind him how difficult it was just to do this simple version of Optimus Prime. Still might be cool though. Yeah, I think in the reference image he's a bit darker. But that's okay. I think that we have already copied enough that it's okay to have a little bit of my own painting style in here. a bit more bluer up here. To emphasize chrome. All right. I feel like I'm gonna be overpainting on some of this stuff. I kind of deleted his eyes. Deleted. That's so funny. Erased his eyes because I felt they were a little too high. So I'm gonna try to freehand them when we're ready. When I get up there. And add that. Yeah, it might be cool to add a little melisms. Melisms? Misms. Alright, let's do some gray. Wow, that's how dirty my finger was? Shoot! See if we can clean that. Thank you, sweetheart. I actually really like how dark that is. Thank you, Random. One of the hardest things with, well, gouache is a very interesting medium because you don't really ever truly know what color you're going to get. What I mean by that is that darker colors, when you lay them down, dry lighter because of the matte nature of the medium. And lighter colors dry darker. Go figure. But the cool thing about that, especially with lighter colors, is that you begin to really get some cool effects when trying to layer highlights, because then the highlights look like they're compounded on each other, adding some pretty cool dynamisms. But everything is a learning process here. Dark. So you have to lay down your color and then wait a bit so it can dry. Is that all the gray he has? Yep. Do I have any pets? Yes. I have a dog. You probably heard him barking earlier. And I have 2 cats. A kitten that's about a year old. And an older cat that's about... How old is Broadway? 15 years old, 16 years old. Coffee. And that's hot. And my oldest cat, the one that's 16 years old, she's deaf. She can't hear very well. So, you might hear her later meowing really loud because she doesn't have any volume control. But she's allowed. Four cats for you, huh? I like cats, but I think I'm a dog person. I think cats tolerate us, and dogs let you know. But I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing more oddly gratifying to the soul than to have to be holding a cat and it's purring, right? So, I feel you. But a cat is so finicky, it could go from purring to trying to scratch your eyes out. I wouldn't feel too bad. I wouldn't feel too bad about my cat. I think she's happy. She's loved here, man. I think she's lived a good one. It's just old age of catch up to anybody and everyone. Yeah, I think the blue pencil that I used to draw this, although it's great for it, it kind of it dirties up the page. No fault of it. I could have probably cleaned it if I took some time, but I didn't want to. Making everything a bit cooler in tone. And it's adding a bit of making that Optimus is on these a little yellow in the front. That's kind of gross, Optimus. You got yellow on these. I thought I was gonna be able to just cleanly paint this, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be adding layers. You're feeding the cats? Nice. not too shabby. It's coming along, I think. I have one more piece that I'm going to do for me. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming it. I'll see what the temperature's like, so to speak. But one of my favorite characters in the whole show was the Dinobot leader Grimlock, and I think that's what I'm gonna do, and kind of like get away from all of the grid stuff and try to be a little bit mo free. I think that's what I want to do. I just mentioned how the blue pencil is kind of affecting the color, and I appreciate it now used when as I paint over the white parts of Optimus here, because it adds a little bit more color and depth than just white, giving it a not so pure look. Nothing, bro. Random. Nothing. We just still here painting and doing our thing. CJ's feeding his cats. Saboteur on the other side, working for the man. And I am waxing poetic. I think we're ready for the next color. It shows that it's blue, but it's a very subdued blue. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add, you guys can't see my palette too well. I'm gonna add a bit of blue to this gray. And see. Perfect. I wanted to dull it down. How you like that? I'm trying to project. My mic's picking up pretty good. I got some synth wave in the background. I just broke it. One second. There you go. If you have any dedications, you just let me know. I'll call out your favorite loved one, your cat. I gotta use these channels that they use AI music, so they can't monetize you. You can't monetize them. Oh, brother. All right. Came out darker than I expected, but that's all right. Yeah, I need some catchphrases. Did he have catchphrases? Oh yeah, happy trees and I got nothing. I was talking to my wife yesterday. Clouds over here. Yeah. No happy tree. What do you say? He would say? When he would want you to paint lightly, a little air and some hair. A little air and some hair. Or a little hair and some air. One of the two. But I was I was talking about since I've started using gouache, painting with gouache, that I think I must have done at least over 300 paintings. Hold on, I think I lost somebody. So Random says, I'm confused. When I hold it up and down, I can see more than I can see the other way. What? So if are you? I'm assuming you're on your phone. So if you're watching vertically, you mean it'll shrink because it'll cut. It'll try to add the chat, right? Does that sound right? Did I catch that? Yes. Okay. So if you, yeah, unfortunately, if you're on your phone, if you hold it up right, you should be able to see the whole image, and anything that comes up in chat will scroll up from the bottom of the page. But if you turn your phone horizontally, it'll shrink the image so that you can see the chat on the left. Yeah, I thought I was going to be doing a simple shading. The more I paint this, the more I know my own habit. Dark, dark, dark. I kind of butchered that leg here with this shading. But it is not the last coat. It is basically the first coat. Plus Random, I think I'm streaming in a bunch of different ways. I'm doing because I'm doing the horizontal stream, meaning you can see my whole desk. I'm also doing a dual stream of that. So YouTube is taking my vertical stream and also broadcasting in vertical. And I'm doing a vertical. I'm flooding the market. I love the color of that blue. But we're just putting as much of the flat colors as possible. So this is kind of because it's so early. This is the most tedious. But once this dries in a few minutes, because gouache dries pretty quickly, and this is artboard, so it's very rigid and stiff. So things are going to be moving pretty quickly soon after. I hope. Like I said earlier, gouache is one of those mediums that you really can't rush. You shouldn't rush any. You should really take your time. I am really surprised looking at this how gray that came out. It's not really what I intended. Boom, 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 boom. But we're having a good time. We're just learning and burning. That's not a very good catchphrase. Learning and burning. Gripping and ripping. This is probably going to be the most difficult. Maybe.
I'm Steve Ballmer, former Microsoft CEO and a basketball fanatic. But more than anything, I'm a data guy. That's why I created USA Facts, to bring you unbiased and non-partisan government data on issues impacting the lives of Americans. I'll share with you the facts and data.
Random, you mentioned earlier you have received, what'd you say, 14 subbies? Are you an artist as well? I'll go check out your artwork.
Federal, state, or local government. There are 90,888.
I'm going to lower the eyes to about right there.
I sure didn't know that before we started. And I wondered, how is that even possible? What do all those governments do? How much does it all
All
cost?
right.
It's our government, so let's explore it. The most recent nationwide data is in 2022.
One of my favorite brushes to use for blending. I didn't think I was going to do so much blending, but I'm feeling it. We're going to do it. Some vermilion.
We have 50 state governments, 3,031
little bit of white.
Washington, D.C., 16,240.
Well, have a good day at school. Have a good day.
546 independent school districts, and
Thank you for popping on this morning.
555 special districts like public transportation or water and sewer authority. That adds up to 90,888, a number that does not include U.S. territories like Guam and Puerto Rico, which have their own governance structures. Let's break it down. County government
Excuse
is
me.
the state,
A little bit of red here.
which assigns
Too much
local
red.
functions to municipalities, or the state retains those itself. Two states have county-like entities with different names. Louisiana refers to them as parishes, and Alaska calls them boroughs. Municipal governments are local governments that are often called cities, towns, or villages, depending on the state. Townships are a subdivision of counties. You'll find them in 20 states, primarily in the Northeast and the Midwest. I grew up in a place called Farmington Township, just outside. Importantly, townships are not the same as towns, which are small.
Good Lord. All right, let's see if we can do this. All right, I got most of the base done. That's okay to leave open. I think we're gonna be all right. Let's go. I don't want it too wet. It's not what I wanted. Yeah, I don't. Sometimes this thing will blend perfectly. Now all I'm doing is pulling off the paint. It's a bit annoying.
This is big. Everything's on sale at the Sephora savings event. All your essentials. All the beauty you want to try. All on sale. You're gonna need a bigger bag.
Have you ever wanted to install a battery backup system on your house but thought they all look so complicated? Or what happens if I run out of battery power and the grid's not available? Well, Anchor Solix is releasing a new system to the market which might resolve a lot of those issues. And that is the Anchor Solix E10 Smart Hybrid Whole Home Backup System. This is going to be more of a first look at the system specs than a review. We're going to take a look at what exactly is this system, what are the different components, and what
Give me a second, y'all. This thing went from playing tunes to just nothing but ads, and I ain't about that life today. Can you guys see this a little better? I might have to zoom in so you guys can get a shot of Optimus better. I think that looks pretty good. We may not need to keep the reference image too long. I think that's good. Lock it. Move that over. Move that over. So this is the hardest part for me. One of the biggest learning curves is the amount of paint at this stage on the second layers or so versus water or moisture. Water. I don't want to pull up the layers underneath, so I have to be careful and kind of utilize a light touch. And that red is super dark. I might have to go over it again later with a lighter color, an orange maybe, like I mentioned. Because this Optimus is going to look dark otherwise. You know what? Because it's so early, this might be the best time to experiment. So I'm going to grab a deeper orange. Mix the two. It's also a trick for you guys. Orange does allow for reds to be more dynamic. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys can see how much more vibrant that looks. So the goal here is going to be, and because it's still kind of wet underneath, I can get away with adding and blending. Add a little life to that color. This filbert, or this small round, I think it's a filbert, is good for this part. It's better for organic human characters, that type of stuff, animals or organic creatures. I'm really testing myself with using it on on all this square. But I'm doing that, I'm using this instead of a flat brush because I want to blend it in. All right, I just dirtied my color. See that? No, you can't because my image is blocking it. I'm moving my colors to a different part of the page, cleaner part of my palette, just cause. Shadowhawk, man, good morning, brother. Well, you're part Transformer now, ain't you? I kid, I kid. But how are you? Shadow, I think we are possibly in the same age group, right? As a 80s kid. If you weren't jamming to Transformers, what was you jamming to, bro? Don't say GoBots. The mighty GoBots. But anyway, brother, I appreciate you jumping on, man. Thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you as well. I wanted to ask you, uh, either through DM or something, what were you into? Because I wanted to send you some art, bruh. It was it was really cool meeting you guys and trying to contribute to the GoFundmes. Ah, the Micronauts. Shogun Warriors. Shogun Warriors. Is that Ronin Warriors? No. It sounds familiar. I think I'm gonna have to go because I can't match that shallow tone. It's too. It's almost like a subdued purple. It's like it's escaping my mind. That I'm gonna have to go for this darker, more dynamic shadow to match my inabilities. Uh, there was a cartoon, brother, that should have been Nightmare Fuel, but I loved it. It was called the Inhumanoids. I don't know if you remember this, but it was basically that, just monsters from underground that just emerge and just just started wrecking humanity. Yeah, I'm racking my head to try to match that Optimus's tone. But that's okay. I think it is almost like a purple color, almost this color. No, that's cool, bro. That actually might work here. Yeah, the Inhumanoids. Um, I didn't do much. I mean, like I said, I was introduced to comics, whatever my cousin had, and I think he was more like following the trend. He wasn't really a collector like that. But he had what's the one I'm thinking about? The Blue Demon from DC. One like that. Blue Devil, Blue Demon, one of those. Had a lot of Legionnaire stuff, which was trash. Um, but he also had Death in the Family, which messed me up because I didn't know any different. I didn't know any better. So I'm like, why would they kill Robin? But I also remember reading the anthology series Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and just the one about the giant thumb always freaked me out. I might have to come back because it's removing paint and not adding. You got to vote. And hey, man, you don't have to apologize. They're the ones that put him. They put him in that position. And did they ever? I'm just glad they followed through. I mean, they kind of went against the whole point, bringing him back. But he had. Oh, where's my book at? But my cousin had the this issue here, 213, X-Men 213, dude, and I must have. This has to be or had to be the one that made me go, oh yeah, I'm a fan. I didn't know who these characters were. What year was this? 86, so 7 years old. And this blew me away. And everything else that he had in his collection, I just was like, I'm not reading that. Just, it was this issue in my age was a horror issue. This Sabretooth went in there and just started. He's hitting women. He's beating up on Psylocke. I just picked this thing up specifically for this issue. Sorry, guys. Even though I'm enjoying the hell out of reading this and some of these, but I looked through. I can't remember. I looked through and tried to find this cover and if which one of these essentials it was going to be in. Man, and I didn't jump ahead the way I'm doing now. I jumped ahead to look at the pictures, not the story. But there's this shot right. Where is it? Oh man. Of it's so good. Spit and blood everywhere. Sneaking a little stab. Me biting him in the arm. Headbutting each other. Wolverine's all. Oh man. Anyway, that issue. That was the issue that he had. That I'm like, yep. Yep. I stopped drawing peanuts cartoon strips. I stopped all of that stuff. Where can I get these? What can I do for 75 cents? Can I get those? But it was that issue. And I'm just happy. I would love to try to grab a colored version. I overdid this, so I'm going to have to wait and move around. But I missed a lot, man. I missed a lot of that 80s grittiness. I missed Dark Knight Returns when it came out. Like everything that's cool I caught after the fact. I'm like a poser. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I caught him when I did. It is what it is. I think you get older and you see them a little. Well, as you're older and read them, you appreciate them a bit more. Your mind still lose your coconut over it, but you have a better understanding of what's happening, I think. Shadowhawk killed Jay. They couldn't even let him die. Shadow, your vote meant nothing. Oh man. Those are so good, bro. We're gonna nerd out for a hot second while I do this. While I wait for this to dry out. Give me a second. So, what time is it? You know what? Yeah, I'm pretty much overworking this thing, so I thought I was going to try to finish it in two. I kind of like misjudged it. But dude, right here. The Burning Cockrum. Phoenix Omnibus. So I feel you, bro. Like his art. I'm trying to remember. What did I tag here? Ha! There you go. That's an interesting page. Why did I tag this? It must have been that face. His artwork is so good. It's so tight. I wonder if this must be reprinted or... that's a stupid thing to say. Of course it's reprinted. I wonder if it's recolored or maybe it's just because of this paper. See, now I can't remember. Why did I tag this? It had to be for that face. I got to show you this. I do this every time. One hot second. what I end up doing is I'll grab a bunch of stuff so I can share and show on stream, and then the next day or even that night, I'll put everything back. Just try to clean up after myself, and then the next day or the next stream, I'm like, oh, let me show you, and it's all the same crap. Again, I missed a bunch of this stuff. I caught all of this after the fact because I'm a, what did Omer call me? Call me a weeb. He called me a weeb for, I love that shot, for liking manga and anime. But catching this stuff after the fact, oh, check out Big Head Watcher crying. And reading that Essentials, that X-Men Essentials I'm showing you, I showed you a second ago with Rachel Summers kind of going through the same type of angst that her mom did. There it is, bro. I would love to not redo, because you can't fix this, but to do some homage drawings of his stuff. And I got to give props to the animated X-Men when it came out. They did really good in paying respect to it. Honoring some of the dialogue and let me move this thing out the way. Boop. But yeah, dude, I remember poring over this when I got it. It's just really good. Wolverine alone. These were dudes, right? These weren't like robots. He killed the hell out of this guy. Yeah, let me see here. This one here, right? Who didn't, right? He was such a, well, it was Claremont and Miller, right? Can we give props, man? Can we give Claremont, may rest in, he did pass away, may rest in peace. His flowers, man. He friggin' owned it. He was very wordy. I think near in 93, 94, when Jim Lee and them came on, I don't think they appreciated his wordiness. Going through that X-Men Essentials, that he wrote the whole, he's really wordy, but it works. That's such a great picture. Anyway, this scene here, where she thinks Aurora is her slave, she slapped the hell. Shut up. That's a cool Red Hood. Who did it first? Anyway, we'll be here all day. You know what, dude? I wonder what the algorithm would do if I'll just sit here and just read page by page, like an audiobook. But I understand. I think I know why I grabbed it. Let me see here. It was because of that. This is my drawing of Phoenix, penciled inked, and gouached over. That's why I had that page tagged for the eyes, the crazy eyes. I wasn't really sure how I was gonna use my use gouache. So I did I try to keep it as close to the stuff I love, man, comics, and not do so painterly, but Yeah, I don't like. I love the fact that I'm technically still growing with the medium. I've only been painting with this medium with gouache for 2 years. It'll be the third year. I started January 2024, so a little over 2 years. And I don't think I'll. Right now, I don't feel like switching over to any other medium, even though I want to do oils eventually. But right now, let me just put stuff away here. I think that sharing my journey with gouache, I think is has been really fun. And I know that I am no match yet. I'll say that now, yet, for Alex Ross, the way he uses gouache. And I'm glad I don't use it the way he does. Show a little different perspective on what you can do. And I'm not the only one. Who's the other one? Francis Manupal uses gouache as well. Man, something's freaking me out. I appreciate you, Shadow. You have a good one. I am closing out today anyway. This morning. I will be back on later on this afternoon. I thought I was going to be painting a Spider-Man later on. It looks like I'll be doing this. I'm kind of digging it. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing. I appreciate you, Shadow. I hope you feel better, man. I hope your leg heals fantastically. And that you're 100%. Thank you, brother, for swinging through. Appreciate you. With that said, I think we are good here for part 1 of today's stream. Come back, you guys, around 3 p.m. today. See if we could do a doofer. I'm going to do a doofer today and a doofer tomorrow. I want to get some stuff done before we get family come by. Because I do not want to be in my studio while there's family here. Pay attention to them, hang out with them. There you go. Optimus, I got some things to take care of. I'm digging the way the shadows came in after the fact. I'll probably do another layer. I don't like that piece there, but that's okay. But the base is in. Now we're just going to be blending it smooth. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the background. I might just paint it white and have him in stark contrast. I think it'll make him pop. Very graphic-like. I think I could move the camera back now. Whoops. Camera back now. This piece is 12 by 16. So I'm trying to also get it paint bigger, use bigger canvases. That giant Optimus is 16 by 20. But yeah, that is Optimus. Put him in the center here. Alright, looks good. Take my dog out. It's a nice day. Take my dog out, clean some stuff, and I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Thanks for coming through. It's Hearts at the Round Table. My name is Mello. God bless you. Love you. Mean it. Try you later. Bye bye.